the hell are you doing?
I don't know. Just making a really weird face. Good evening, everybody. How's everybody doing? Tonight, we're going to do something a little bit different. And in case you're tuning in for the first time, we are Cast Revive. We're normally a weekly top 5 VGM podcast, but tonight we're going to do something a little bit different. And it just so happens that we got good news that we hit the 1,000 mark for our listens and downloads today. So it's kind of fitting that we're doing something kind of a little special for it. We're going to talk about Dark Age of Camelot this evening. This is an MMO that Brian and I played for many, many, many years. And even went back to it recently to check it out. They have like some free shard servers and stuff where you can relive the glory days before all the not garbage, but the without trials and all the mind numbing content they added there near the end of the game. But so we're not gonna do a top 5 tonight. We're just gonna kind of have the music from the game playing in the background, kind of talk about our memories of the game and stuff like that. So we hope you guys pull up a chair and listen to some fine dine talk. I really don't know. This is literally an experiment. I'm going to sound like an ass.
That was good. No, you did fine up until the admittance that you didn't know what you're doing.
I know. To be honest, I never know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
This is an improv every week. So we've played this since launch, right? I know I got it right at launch because I came from EverQuest over to this game. Were you?
I got it pretty early on. It was right when I started working at Pizza Hut.
Yeah.
If that makes any sort of timeline for you. But my buddy Mark picked it up, and I played it at his house for like a week, and then I got my own copy. So, and then I met you.
Yeah. And then the rest is history. So this game came out in 2001. Can you believe that?
I thought it came out a lot longer ago than that. It passed the millennium.
Yeah, because I didn't play. I graduated in 2000, so yeah, definitely. Well, I don't know. Well, it says here 2001. I'm looking. I literally. I didn't take a picture of this. I have every single strategy guide, map, and everything that ever you could possibly purchase with this game. So I'll post it up on the site so you guys can see how absolutely insane I am. Music. So our realm of choice for this game, well, mine at least, was Albion.
Yeah, mine too. Albion.
I know. The good thing about this game is either you were completely in for them. I don't know anybody that was like, oh, I loved all 3 realms. They were all great. It's like, no. If I was Albion, the other 2 can just rot in hell.
Yeah, and this isn't like. I mean, I know there is like supposed to be a disparity between like the Horde and the Alliance, but if you played Horde, you have an Alliance character, right?
Yeah.
Like when we were playing Camelot big time, I did not have a Midgard character. I did not have a Hibernia character. I just had Albion characters.
Yeah. I mean, we went over to Midgard briefly and I had a troll berserker.
That was later.
That was much later.
And you made a troll that we could farm for
RVR
points.
That's right.
Park him under a bridge and slaughter him.
That's right. That's when I was living up north. Yeah, I remember
Yeah.
I used to let you guys log into my account and just park me over any main and you would just run over and just destroy me. Yeah.
Yep. And you had to do it in like a part of the world where the kill spam wouldn't alert other players that a member of their realm had been killed.
Yeah.
Because then they'd go looking for you.
That's right. You would take the boat over and jump out, and you just see me like on the shoreline there. Remember to have pictures taken. Hey, look at you holding the mic like a mic holding man.
My neck is like they're craning over the mic like this.
So, oh man, I'm looking through some of the old original strategy guys and just seeing how much this game has changed from when we played it, all the way up to Labyrinth of the Minotaur, which was the final expansion.
And that's the thing, like talk about pacing for a minute, because when we first got into this game, there were no expansions, so everything was vanilla, right?
Yep.
And it was like a super slow grind.
Super slow.
Like not even slow, like comparatively to today. It was like...
It was brutal.
It was awful. And it took so long for you to, like, you first 1 through level 4 or level 5, you weren't even a class yet.
You weren't even a class. You were just open attacking, and it was we're making a Saracen having to start in Camp Forest, and it was like, oh my god, I deal no damage. This is absolutely just brutal.
Yeah, and you're so far away from all the action. And
But that's what made games back then so great. It's like you had to felt like you earned it. You know, like everything you
totally.
did was just. It's not just now that I'm gonna kill a guy and gain 4 levels. It's just like no, like it was literally. It took you probably a couple hours to get to 5. You know,
and little to no quests.
Yeah.
There were very few quests when this came out. It was a camp and kill game.
Yep, and that's
which is great.
To this
It's
day,
my
my
favorite.
favorite kind.
Very, very much my favorite.
You know, because I mean, you think about all the relationships and stuff that you formed. You get together with a team and you sit there in the same spot for hours. You just talk. You get to know other people, and it's just that is my idea of an MMO. It's not just joining up randomly, completing something, and then disbanding. Like I want to sit with people and get to know people and just have fun, and that's what you did. That's what you did in that game, and especially once Darkness Falls got introduced, and you really had to, for Legion, and you were farming Rocots for the demonic seals and stuff like that to buy the gear down there. Oh man, it was a thing of beauty.
The glowing swords.
Yeah.
Oh my God, the glowing weapons.
That was my first one. I had the Eliel sword that dropped. Remember when I first got that, and I had to give it away to my guild leader because I was 48 and he was 50, and he's like, "Well, I'm guild leader, I'm paladin. I need to hold aggro, so let me have the flaming sword." I'm like, but I found it. So, but it was the first one that we actually saw, and his name was Red Barchetta. Still
Red Barchetta.
Yeah.
I know who you're talking about.
Yep. He, man, we were in a guild called Vasankt, and they were VS over in EverQuest, and that's where I met them initially, and then I came over, and we called ourselves the Dingbats when we got together our groups because we leveled so much. We were like, "Ding, level up!" So and we were all just so kooky. So we would just spend, hours upon hours together, and it's a great time. And I don't, not that just because I'm older. I don't foresee in games nowadays
having that
experience anymore. You know, for new players coming in, kids who are younger getting into it, being able to forge these kinds of relationships with people because it's not like that.
You know what it is to me? Like we've entered this realm of gaming where there are celebrity players, if you will, like the streamers and like all the YouTubers and stuff. Like if you're playing a game that they're playing, that's the social aspect.
Yeah.
You know, being able to watch other people play it on Twitch, I think that's like the new VS. And then basically,
I can. Yeah, you're absolutely right. I mean, especially because some of these guys they invite people from their stream in to like join the group. So it's like, oh hey, I'm playing with the streamer. I'm part of a community. So
yeah.
I just wish there was a game that would come out like 11. Final Fantasy 11 was the last game that I played that had that camp and farm model built into it. And while that game did have quests, I mean not that many, but the main purpose of that game was just grinding and killing, and that's what I love about this game, man. I've had numerous What would you say is what was your favorite overall class in Albion?
Oh my God. Well, let's talk about that for a minute though, because when we first started, there were like 10, 11 classes.
Yeah,
like maybe more, but and they obviously they span the spectrum of what you would find in an MMO class, but I liked my Theurgist.
Yeah,
I thought my Theurgist was pretty great. My main was a paladin for years, and I found out near the end that I was playing him completely wrong because I had like a two-handed sword paladin that was heavy into chance, and I got laughed at every time I went out into combat.
Well, I was the same way. I had stuff but until my character got deleted, and I had to start completely over. But there's the Armsman, Kabbalist, Cleric, Friar, Infiltrator, Mercenary, Minstrel, Paladin, Scout, Sorcerer, and Theurgist, and Wizard. Those were the Albion classes.
Yeah, that's one realm.
That's just one realm.
And there's 2 more to go.
Yeah.
Which with the same amount of classes. And all completely different. It wasn't like the Horde and Alliance both get the Shaman now. It was, the Shaman is completely different of a healer than a cleric. Than the cleric was.
Yep.
Oh my God, so good.
And even their, like the Nightshade is very different from the Infiltrator because they get to utilize magic, And the Shadowblade, which is the Infiltrator for Midgard, he gets to use 2-handed swords for higher burst perf damage out of stealth. So it was a brilliantly constructed game, and the first time that I ever really enjoyed like a PvP combat setting because it felt like you had a purpose. You were defending your realm against opposing enemies and siege keeps, you know, and you know, and you would construct these ballistas and these battering rams, and it's just taking a keep for a relic was that for your first time one of the most amazing experiences that I've ever had in a game. I mean, hundreds of people battling it out. And it's all for your realm. It's all for your realm.
And that was the thing too, is like they incorporated RVR so heavily into the game. These fields that you went out and fought in weren't just instant zones that you had to join a queue to get to. These were, you walk out the gate, you're in RVR.
Yeah.
Like you are now flagged, you can be killed. You can farm out here. You can get XP, you can get really good XP and gear drops.
Yeah.
But you're at the mercy of other people who are invading your realm.
Yeah, and you always have the stealthers always close to the border, always sending
looking for an easy kill.
Looking for an easy kill and being like, all right, we got a group going this way, kind of, just scouting out and stuff like that. And it was brutal.
Being like a 2 or 3 man farm team out on like the hills of Castle Savage, and then you see like 8 level 50 trolls, and you're just like, no,
come on, man,
we're not even worth the experience.
You find like the perfect like yellow camp, and you're just like, all right, we're gonna park here. Nope, you're just instantly farmed.
Yeah, it's rough, but I mean, back to RVR, like Siegecraft was a craft in this game, which is so cool to me because nobody's done it since, I don't think. Where you can actually create like these battering rams and these catapults and trebuchets.
Yeah, I mean, I think the closest thing was the Warhammer Online. I think they tried to do that, but unfortunately the game got shut down, which upset me because the game I thought was actually a lot of fun.
And it had a very similar RVR style, which is great. The keep taking, where you had to go and slay the Lord.
Yeah, I mean, it's not just endless like combat. Like you actually have a purpose. You want to gather these relics to make your realm more powerful. Mm-hmm. And it's just like, oh, I'm just gonna run and just kill people, and that's like, no, like there's an overall goal, you know. And that's what I really liked about it. It forced people to really work together. And like I said, seeing hundreds of people charge through and just be like, all right, and just the coordination of someone setting that up when you knew, all right, join the alliance chat because we're starting a raid for our power relic, and you're just like, all right, here we go, boys.
And you started to see like the names of people you knew could take you to victory. Like, oh, there's Sir Sergeant Bacon.
Yeah,
we're gonna get behind him. We know he does a really good keep take, you know.
And I said that, I mean, people actually, people were like, "Oh, who's leading the raid? Oh, this guy. I haven't heard him. Not interested."
Yeah.
Like, oh, he's leading. All right, let's go. We know that this guy knows his way around, and he makes good calls. And everybody had a purpose. And there were squad leaders and different things. Like you would break apart and circle around and make sure that you're not being flanked. And it was intense. It was intense.
And wasn't Darkness Falls was tied to this, right? Like RVR. Like if you had the most number of keeps, you would have access to Darkness Falls. One of the best dungeons in the game.
Yeah. Oh man, I'm looking at like the original map that came with the game: Guide to the Realms, Salisbury Plains, Cornwall.
What would you say was your favorite area to farm in before the expansions?
Before the expansions, my favorite area to farm in. I would probably say Dunters. Lyonese.
Lyonese, yeah. I like Lyonese a lot.
Because you could pull so many and they respond so quick.
Mm-hmm.
There were remember when I had my sorcerer and I could finally get the Telemon pet down there, the guy with the giant sword, and I was just like, all right, I'm just gonna send him in and just like get like 50 Dunters on him.
Dude, when you first showed me the game, like Telemon, like the high end stuff, because I would come to your house and you'd be doing like raids and stuff that I'd never even like heard of before. Like, I think one of the first things I saw was like a Sork with that pet, with the greater Telemon or whatever. I was like, what the hell is that? It was so massive.
And you couldn't believe it. Something of that size you could charm, and you're just like, oh my goodness, this. Yeah, you're just like, I'm making a sorcerer. I'm absolutely making a sorcerer.
It was so
and then you realize that minstrels could do it too. If you had high enough if you spec high enough in instruments, which I don't know why you wouldn't spec high enough in instruments.
Yeah, it's like it's your purpose, dude.
You could get it. You could get it as well. But Yeah, it's running around with that thing was just absolutely hilarious.
Did you say what your favorite class was?
I did not. Oh, okay. Let's see. Pre-expansions.
Cleric.
We're gonna go pre-expansions. It might be cleric, either cleric or wizard.
What about your minstrel? You played a lot of minstrel.
my
You
minstrel-
played a lot of minstrel.
Yeah. See, the problem I had so many 50 characters because my wizard Fuergafar, straight fire wizard, would just. I mean, I would just one shot, especially farming him and
with those bolts.
once the expansions came out and farming him in Avalon City, it was just
Yeah.
I could power level people. My cleric, when I was a smite cleric, farming rocots because they were prone to smite damage, and
Oh my god, the types of damage in this game.
Yeah. that was amazingly
It got
fun.
ridiculous.
But the minstrel, man, minstrel was my no, my cleric was my first 50, and then minstrel was next. Yeah. I was trying to think. I couldn't. It was really close, but yeah, cleric was. I think you're right. I think overall minstrel was my favorite because I had a lot more things I could really do. Especially when I brought my slash down and brought a little bit higher in stealth, and I would like go around Darkness Falls, just really mezzing people and then stealthing and running away. So they were stuck there for like a minute.
As a minstrel, you can't do anything when you come out of stealth. I mean,
No.
Yeah. Besides that, I
Yeah.
don't think you're gonna.
I mean, I could gank lobies like the best of it with my shouts and my stuns. But it was just, I mean, the twisting of the songs that I could really do with the minstrel and stun. I could stun, and then put another mob to sleep,
Sure.
and then by the time that stun wears off, I'm already mezzing the other one. So I had a really good system for helping pull and stuff like that when we had large groups. And he had the AOE sleep. He had the power song. He had the heal song, which the heal song I never really used. It was mainly
It wasn't that good.
it was mainly just power song.
Yeah, power's what you wanted. Power and they didn't get endo. Paladins got endo chant.
Paladins got endo chant
Yeah.
eventually. Yeah.
The I was gonna say the class building in this game was like my favorite so far.
Mm-hmm.
Like you're not talking about like a skill tree where like if you put so many points into this, your fireball does more stuff. It's you put points into fireball so that you keep getting good fireballs.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. I mean,
it was so simple.
yeah, the final fire bolt is actually level 50 if you spec in it. Like
Right, and you can't
literally-
get it unless you
can't get it
devote your
unless-
entire like all
Yeah,
of your
so-
all of your points to it.
Yeah, so I was 50 and then 20 in the earth. So
Yeah.
I would get that AOE slow and then just melt people from there.
Yeah, and like the three different branches all having their like unique feel was great.
Mm-hmm. I miss it.
Hibernia.
I can't believe this game is still $15 a month to play.
I cannot believe. But,
If it would drop down to like 10 or like 8, I would be like, you know what, I'm going to go check it back out. The problem is, though, the game is so different now.
It is
so different now.
It
that
is.
That's why I like the free charge servers, because we recently went back there not too long ago, and we're going back to, what was the first dungeon again in Albion?
The first dungeon was Mithra.
Mithra, the Tomb of Mithra, yeah.
Tomb of Mithra.
So we went in there and was farming for a while, and then you go to Salisbury Plains and you're fighting the bandits and and then it would switch over to the ghosts at night. The filths or is that what
It's like FIDILH, Philly or something
Yeah.
like that. Yeah.
So and we would be there for a while, and I was playing a mercenary at that time, and it was
Mercenary.
fun. That was fun.
Dirty
Mercenaries,
tricks.
dirty tricks, dude. Mercenaries were absolutely awesome.
I thought they were pretty good.
Oh man, so many great. And there really wasn't a bad class. I mean, the friar's the only class that I never really got up there. I never really did.
It to me is a weird class because it's like a mix of like a DPS and a healer and
Yeah.
a buffer, and I mean like depending on which route you took. I think later on though their fighting styles healed,
Yes,
which
yes.
was great. I mean
Yeah.
that really brought them like to a unique place in the
Yeah.
class roster because before that you didn't have it, like a cleric could like bolt people from afar and like mez people, but if they got close with anybody they died and
Yeah.
couldn't heal.
Yeah.
If you were taking damage as a healer, you could not heal.
You could
One of the most frustrating things.
Yep. All you had was to rely on your quick cast. That was it, and then you got one spell off. But unless the paladin or the armsman was trying to keep ag, it wasn't happening.
Yeah.
It was not happening. Oh goodness gracious! Memories of a game that is still around, but
it is still around, and there's like a big push, or was a big push at one point. I think it's greenlit on Steam
Yeah, I remember you telling me about that.
But the thing is like, oh, we don't want to pay $15 a month for it anymore. But, like, I can sort of see that, but
It's one of these games that I would like to go back for like a month or two. Like, I'll drop the $30, check out my original accounts. Look at all my. I'd get on Foregrapher and be like, all right, let's power level somebody in a day. Let's get them to 50. Just bring them to Avalon City. I'd be more than happy to do that.
Oh, Avalon City was great. I mean, I don't put much stock in the expansions past Shrouded Isles.
Yeah,
I think that was like the perfect expansion, like a really great tone. It gave you a lot more to do endgame. But when you got into like Trials of Atlantis, like there's so much to explore, but it like oversaturated the game for me.
Yeah,
because they introduced like the artifact weapons and everything, and that was like that's where it lost me.
It focused a lot more on people fighting over gear at that point because like if you're in a group with people and you're like, all right, I have 3 Reavers, and you're just like, oh hey, we're at the snake charm weapon. Who's gonna get it? And,
right.
So it's
it
just
only
like,
went to one person.
It only went to one
Oh,
person.
wow.
So and
you got that though.
oh yeah, I got it on my Reaver. And since we're talking about the expansions now, Reaver is my ultimate favorite class.
All-time favorite.
But before they nerfed it and changed it to complete absolute garbage that it is now, that class was unbelievable amount of fun. I mean, the chains that I could pull off with the stuns and having 50 in flex, 42 in I think it was 50 in flex, 42 in shield, 36 in soul, and like 19 parry or 16 parry or something like that. Man, slam and then get off 2 or 3 Leviathans if my haste buff procced on my weapon, and just like it was great. And one of my crowning moments was I was one of the people that actually defeated Tony's Friar and right outside of right when you get poured over to the Shrouded Isles. What was the name of that first town?
Oh golly.
And I'm busting out the strategy guide here.
I just know there's like a lot of dragonflies right near it.
Yeah.
Gothwaite
Yep.
Harbor.
Yeah, Care Gothwaite. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, because people would duel there all the time, and just like he was just wrecking people. I was like, all right, let me try this. And then I was like, if I don't get my slam off, I'm dead. And I got it, and I hit with every Leviathan, and I popped everything. And I was like, oh my god, I beat him! This was amazing.
See, that's where it's missing for me, is because like nowadays you can't miss, right? Like you just attack in an MMO and you hit no matter what, and then they have to like heal or whatever. Like you could miss.
Yeah,
you could like I'm gonna use my like best attack. It's gonna use like all of my remaining endurance.
Yeah, and
if I don't get this, I'm screwed basically.
Yeah.
It was so cool to me.
And
frustrating at the time.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And all throughout the game's history, crafting was important.
Yeah.
Like, there was never like, okay, I got raid gears. Like, no, like, I want 100% masterpiece leather chest armor so I can enchant and build the way I want.
Yep.
That is still a vital importance. And unlike, nowadays, I'm just like, what the hell am I going to craft for? I'm max level.
Why would you craft?
Unless I'm alchemy to make myself some potions for money. But other than that, I mean, there's nothing that is like, oh man, this is so worth it.
And like food is a good thing to craft. Alchemy is a good thing to craft. But yeah, the armor crafting, weapon crafting, you might as well not do it in today's MMO.
Yeah, that's sad. That's sad. Avalon City, by far my favorite in all of Shrouded Isles.
Avalon City was great. It was started at like level.
It's like 42 or 43, something like that.
Maybe that's when you could go there with like PL help, right? Because I remember it being a lot higher.
Well, it scales up, and I think the entranceway was like low 40s.
Okay,
I think so. And then you had that little glitch. If you right at leaving the wall, you could wiggle your way through the wall and fall, and then it would take you right back to your bind point.
Right,
so you'd have to run all the way back to Weary All. Oh man, good times.
That's right. You could fall through the world in this game in a lot of the cities.
Yeah. Glitches that I didn't mind, and then they eventually fixed it. But I mean, I wouldn't have fixed it. It was a quick way to travel.
Can we talk about world bosses for a minute?
Yeah,
because I mean, Avalon City had a great one.
Oh.
I don't think I ever got to do the dragon there.
The Zaxxus or Zarthus or whatever it was called.
Yeah, the two-headed dragon there, right? Like a two-headed white dragon.
crazy fun, man. Back when PBAOE Ice Wizards were the bee's knees, just stacked up on full dexterity buffs.
Watching that like aura PBOE come out.
Just, you have 4 or 5 of them in there, and you just wrecking face. That was how you PL'd in that game, man. And get an Ice Wizard.
And I would just sit at the back and be like, yes, my pulsing blade turn is active. I am doing my part.
I'll do. Pulsing blade turn was, oh my goodness, that thing was a lifesaver.
It took 1 hit away.
Yeah.
And then it took
every 6 seconds.
Every 6 seconds it come back. Yeah, you get a free hit.
Yeah. I mean, and on some of these big world bosses, I mean, that's a one-shot on some people.
For
so,
sure.
I mean,
Oh, yeah.
And it's just great. You just put it on. All right, I have it on. I'm just going to start casting my earth sprites out and start air stunning people. Oh, man, Thurgis were awesome.
Yeah, those sprites were awesome. That's so good. I mean, like, I think early on I was like, yeah, Sorks control like any pet they want. But then like I always found myself liking the Theurgist pets.
Yeah.
Just those little like clay blocks.
I like them.
I was an Earth Theurge.
I like them more than the Kabbalist pets. I love the Kabbalist for its AoE poison and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But the Cab pets just never really did much for me. I usually just had it out for, I guess, just in case something agged onto me, it could take it away. But it wasn't like I felt really adding really anything. But
well, they became the new PLers, right? Because if you built them a certain way, their pet would take all the damage, and then there was like a point blank area of effect spell that you could cast from the pet.
Yeah, there was the
it's like a dot, like a AoE dot.
Yeah. You would basically there was the blade the bubble you would put on them, and every time I hit them, it dealt that damage back out.
Okay, so like a Thorns aura.
Yeah, exactly. So you throw them in, let them take a bunch of ag, and then you're just casting your AoE DOTs on them, then there's like wah, wah, wah.
Oh my god!
And then he just dies, and then by the time they get to you, they're all dead. So yeah, that was nasty.
Like I think early on, this again before expansions or whatever, we went up to Lynn Barfog.
Oh, Lynn Barfog.
And there was like something I was doing around there. Maybe I had to go there from like my armor quest, but I saw Mouth for the first time.
Oh wow!
Yeah,
those things were ugly, man.
Yeah, the boogies.
Yeah, I forgot about. Wow, I haven't been there in a long time. That's up by Snowdonia. That's up in that part of the world.
Yeah, I believe so.
Busting out the map.
Giant lake, basically, and then you had like the hills around it. And I don't think
Black Mountains North.
I don't think Mouth was the only big guy there. I think there was like a giant like rat thing there.
Possibly. Yeah. There were definitely more than one. Yeah, because I think there were at least 2 in each area.
Is that right?
Because then in Salisbury there was that giant crow or the cockatrice.
The basilisk.
Giant
basilisk. Yeah, he was down there. And wasn't there like a Jolly Green Giant or like a Centurion or something?
Yeah.
Those giants, man, they are so massive to me, especially the ones outside of Savage, and then the Frost Giants and that one RVR zone near Midgard. The giant frost. It's huge.
Yeah.
Absolutely massive.
I think I loved as well is like they didn't really like double up on a lot of sprites in this game. Like there were a lot of unique different enemies. It's not like it's like, all right, you're fighting low-level brownies in this area, and then it's like, oh hey, in Midgard you're fighting level 50 brownies. Like the enemies were very different for each realm.
That's true. Yeah. The Salisbury Giants, and then like if you went into a tomb there were skeletons and like little goblins to fight, and
Hibernia had those like enchanted trees that you would fight, and those massive things, and man. Never spent much time in Hibernia. I always wanted to.
No.
I played the Animist for a while, which with the
Animist
shrooms.
is cool with the turrets,
the
turret mushrooms.
Yeah, the turret mushrooms.
Yeah.
They were really cool. But the only other 50 I got was in Midgard, which was my Berserker. And I remember that Scott and I
class the Berserker.
Wow, it was awesome though, because I was in Thid, the 24 battleground with Scott, a friend of ours, and I think he was a healer. He was a healer, and there were 3 nightshades that just came out and was attacking him, and he's just like, I can't get these things off of me.
Yeah.
Then I went Vendo. I just completely bared out, and I killed all 3 of them when they were all turned. It was like, take that! Oh my god, dude, it was hilarious. The amount of damage that character did at that level was absurd.
Yeah.
Absurd. And then at level 50, I'm like, okay, I'm not one-shotting people anymore. This is kind of false advertising. While I'm
To
leveling.
get you in. I'd like to use that term more often, going Vendo.
Yeah. It was quite an amazing experience.
Did you ever do the Dragon Raid in where is it? Where is Golistan?
Golistan is in Dartmoor.
Dartmoor.
Yeah. Once.
Once?
I don't think I completed it. I don't think I ever actually completed the Golistan raid.
You were in the guild though when I went.
The infamous story of Brian. I'll let you
God.
explain this one.
So there's like a loot system, I guess, like any other game, right? Like it's a you pick up something and it just goes to a random person.
Right.
Is that what it was?
Yeah, you would slash roll on it.
So when we did these like raids, and I only ever did the dragon one time with Matt's guild, Voss Sanct, and
His last.
yeah, I think I was like hated after that, whatever. But we killed Golistan, and one of the things he can drop is like a trophy of his head that you could then put inside your home.
Yeah,
The
very rare
housing
drop.
Yeah,
Rare drop.
super rare. Not every time. And I rolled on it because it wasn't just our guild there; it was other people, right, in the raid.
Mm-hmm.
And I actually won it for the guild. And then I had the worst connectivity issues, and I went link dead. And when I got back into the game, everyone was like, "That guy stole Golistan's head!" No, it's like I got all these like messages, like, "You thief! Like, you need to give it back." And I'm like, "Dude, my internet went out. What do you want?"
Yeah,
The drama, the guild drama.
There's too much of it.
That's why they fell apart.
There were a lot. Okay, but not the. I was looking up your question for Lynn Barfog about
Sure.
other name ones. There's Morgana, Mouth.
They put Morgana in Lynn Barfog?
King of the Barfog Hills. That was that giant Cyclops.
Oh,
guy.
okay.
There was Fester, that named Toad.
Oh, nice.
There was Brother Darylin, which was that name guy, that guard at the tower, right when you're coming in on the left-hand side.
Okay.
So there was, and there's even a couple more. Legendary Afank, E4.
Legendary Afank.
Yeah.
That was the like half rat, half lizard
The
thing.
nasty looking garbage.
Yeah. And one of them dropped like a lightsaber, I want to say. It was like a sword hilt, but then the energy, like the blade was all energy. It wasn't like a steel blade or anything.
Right.
It was really cool to me.
Yeah, I'm looking at it. See, this is great because like I took a picture of it, but I mean, I'm looking at the Dark Age of Camelot, the Atlas, and basically it's got
Just maps.
just maps, and it's got every enemy that's in that area, the level, and what they drop. So it was super helpful. The games don't do this anymore.
Well,
they
they don't have to because
they got the
in
internet.
every game, not even that, but you have like the mini map,
Right.
right? Like the mini map that shows you like every point of interest. And, if you get a quest, you have to go over here because there's a quest marker over there.
Yeah.
Like, this game, if you rarely, if you got a quest, it would be like, go to Lynn Barfog and search in the thicket, northeast of the small hut near the lake.
Yeah.
And then you'd have to go there, and you would have to, like, type /search. There wasn't just, like, you walk up there and there's a question mark or an exclamation point or whatever.
Yeah, I mean, there was nothing guiding you anywhere in this game. I miss it. I know if we went back to the old school, like super old vanilla days, we'd be like, I'm so used to like teleporting and quick travel, but
which there was. You could like
you eventually did. They added those teleporters where you could go to the bigger cities.
Yeah.
But it's just, I mean, games have come so far, but without games like EverQuest and Dark Age of Camelot and stuff like that, I mean,
we wouldn't have WoW. We wouldn't have what's that one that you play with the guns and stuff?
Right now, Destiny, Division,
Destiny, yeah.
Good old Destiny.
Try making Destiny without Dark Age of Camelot, Bungie.
You jerks! The Taken was a ripoff of all Albion characters.
The Taken,
the Taken, yes. But So I'm really interested to see if people out there have like played this game. I'm hoping someone that listens has like some really cool memories because people still stream this game.
Yeah,
you know, and
you can still watch this if you look for it.
But all of it is PvP, and
is it all PvP? What they stream?
If you look on Twitch, you'll find a bunch of people still playing RVR, which is really cool. But like they have like all like these HUD advancements now. Like you can like change it, like your icons are all looking different. They have like different group monitors and all this stuff.
Oh, to make it prettier.
Yeah, make it much prettier.
Man, it was fine, all dumbed down.
Yeah, I don't enjoy watching the RVR as much because obviously there's not nearly as much action as there was back in the day.
And there's got to be like a lot of dull moments just between group fights and stuff like that. And if they're doing RVR, they're not doing like a keep take all the time.
Right.
Right.
But it's cool watching. I mean, this one guy I used to follow, he doesn't stream anymore, but all he did was PvE content. So I was watching him when I was working overnight to the airport. He would level like 4 or 5 different Albion characters, and just watching him go through. And this is on like the Free Shard server, so it was the old vanilla stuff, and watching him level up in Lyonese and going to the catacombs and going to Stonehenge. And leveling in there, and
Stonehenge catacombs.
Yeah, and,
nice.
And then just revisiting all these areas that just like, oh my god, like so much of my gaming experience was spent running through these areas, and it's the best feeling. Nostalgia is the best feeling, man, because it's a fantastic game, and I'm really surprised the fact that the game still charges $50 a month. They haven't come out with a new expansion.
Yeah, that is a little tricky, but they went through like a series of ownership changes. I think like the last people that owned them were EA. So I mean, that's kind of the kiss of death, isn't it?
Yeah.
But we do have a little bit of excitement to look forward to because the creators of Dark Age of Camelot are releasing a new game, in a similar vein, like mostly RVR PvP stuff. I don't know how much. What do they call it? PvE content there's going to be, but Camelot Unchained is going to come out soon. And the developers, like everything they say about it is like, if you like the way that Dark Age of Camelot played, you're going to love, Camelot Unchained. So I'm looking forward to that.
I follow them on Twitch. So they have a lot of their like on their channel, they have people coding and showing the artwork and really talking about the game. So they're really letting you in like behind the scenes on this stuff, and it's really cool. And it's looking like a lot of fun. So we just have to see really how it, because Mark Jacobs was the original guy for it. So yeah, he's behind it, and I know he's always kind of wanted to get things going again with it, but we'll see. I mean, it's just it's hard to compete nowadays. I mean, they're a much smaller company, and to be able to put something out, but that's not always a bad thing.
No, I mean, look at the indie community. Yeah. I mean, that's probably where they're getting their impetus from, is the indie community supporting them.
Yeah. So,
I gotta say, they released like the class details for some of them. The healer for Albion, I forget what he's called, but it just shows like a dude holding like 2 bottles.
Really?
I'm like, yes,
that's awesome. That's awesome.
You know what I'm doing.
The bottle thrower is the healer.
It says he's like a good combatant, so I'm hoping that means he just takes a salve and like throws it in someone's face.
That's awesome. That would be awesome. I wonder if they're gonna have as many classes as they did in original Dayak.
It doesn't look like it. It doesn't look like it from the roster that they're showing now. Maybe but that could get pumped up.
Yeah, I mean, if it does well, I'm sure they'll add more. So, but I mean, from their early alpha gameplay, I was watching of like archers shooting from like over a hill, and you could see like the range that you were able, like the clip plane. I mean, it was massive, and
nice.
it just looked nice. Even like the smallest little explosion, you could see so far in the distance.
Oh, really?
So it looked like, they're
putting it into detail.
They're putting in a lot of detail, and that was back in like the whatever before alpha is, the garbage stage. So I mean, there was no grass texture; it was just brown.
Yeah. Pre-alpha is just garbage.
Yeah,
it's like we're into the garbage phase right now.
So I imagine when it finishes, it's going to be. Actually, wouldn't mind sending them a message, seeing if I can get one of their music guys on for a top 5.
No,
that would be really cool.
That would be cool. Let's hope that
If anybody from Camelot Unchained is listening
Yeah.
right now, we'd love to have you on the show and pick your brain because we are huge fans. If you can't tell by the hour of basically crying about how much we missed this game.
I know. It's such a guilty pleasure.
Yes.
But I mean, if you've been able to hear the music so far, I mean, it's not like anything like today's games have, you know. But it's great. It's so
great.
iconic for us. Like every time I hear that intro to Dark Age of Camelot, I kind of like tear up.
Yeah.
Like, my childhood.
Yeah. The hours. If only I could go and see how many hours I put into that game. It's definitely the longest MMO I've played.
For sure.
Yeah.
For me too.
And WoW is coming up close on it. But
City Heroes for me, I think, is like my second. Maybe WoW after that.
We'll have to do a City Heroes one because that game I could talk about as well. Another game that I miss, even though Dark Age of Camelot is around, it's
It is kind
They
of.
were like, hey, we're gonna pay $15 a month to play
all the stuff you've already done.
Shrouded Isles.
Yeah.
Like up to Shrouded Isles.
Yeah.
I'll take that. Kick out Labyrinth and Trials.
Labyrinth wasn't so bad. It really was just Trials for me that ruined it.
Yeah.
But I get, which one had the like dungeons that you could just the task dungeons?
That
Was that Labyrinth?
I think that was Labyrinth. It was included in Labyrinth.
But see, then you'd get rid of the Mauler. The Mauler was such a cool class.
The Mauler was a cool class. That was my other 50.
Was it? In a
Yeah.
Mauler?
Yeah, I had a 50 Mauler named BNF.
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 Yeah.
Yeah. And the thing that ruined it for me, though, because I was running around, I went up against a 48 Hunter, and he kicked my ass in melee. Not even
Oh,
range.
wow.
I was like, what? Like,
Wow.
I was like, all right, I am done with the Mauler, man.
That's either a bad hunter or Mauler's a bad class.
It was probably more that I don't know what the hell I'm doing. But I popped everything I had, and I was just,
Kite those auras.
he's positional based as well. The Mauler has a lot
That's
of
true.
position skills. So, but
which is hard to pull off without
Yeah.
a stun in PvP.
yeah.
There you go.
Do
Do you want to go back tonight? You want to play it tonight?
Yeah. I'll install it. It won't take long. It's like a gig to download the whole game.
Oh my god, I miss small games.
Yeah.
I'm sick of these. Like, you need 40 gigs minimum, and
Yeah.
then we're gonna patch it.
Yeah. I wouldn't mind checking it out again, though, just to run through some of the old areas and get my original epic armor that we have to get after you get to 50 and do the quest line for it.
Did that play a factor into what class you chose to play as after you discovered that everybody had this really unique, cool armor?
Absolutely.
Yep, me too.
Absolutely.
After I saw the wizards, I was like, nope.
All bright and like just like yeah. That's why I waited so long to make a sorcerer. I was like, I didn't really enjoy the sorcerer gear.
They got awesome looking. They used to have a carbon copy of the wizard with like different colors, and then they got their own, and it was cool.
Sorcerer was cool.
Sorcerer's cool.
Mine
Moe's
or
wings.
nothing.
Moe's wings. Moe's Tavern.
Moe's
wasn't it?
Tavern.
Yeah,
Yep, I had
Moe's Tavern.
I had a half orc sorcerer with like the lowest possible intelligence, just running around.
They were advertised as good casters.
Yeah, they
so-
were. They were. I made it. It was great. Yeah, Moe's Tavern, man. I had Daemonis, Human Error, my minstrel named after my band at the time. Morning Vigil was my paladin. Fuergafar was my wizard. Monsters, best friend as a paladin was my reaver.
Best friend is a paladin.
Yep, I had unlimited endo, baby, and just made reavers nasty. Then there was Monstrosity, which was my infiltrator. I'm trying to think what else I had.
You had too many characters. You were like me.
I had so many characters. And they were all up there. The biggest mistake I made was my infiltrator when I switched him over to a mercfiltrator because I thought I saw somebody do it and I was like, oh
I
my
could do
God,
that too.
this is- oh man, I'm gonna be so cool. And then I did that and it was absolute garbage. I was just my DPS dropped so much. I was like, what's going on? Like what is this?
You got to try though, right?
Yeah, I used my respec stone and I couldn't switch back. So even to this day, he's still stuck as a mercfiltrator.
That's the good thing. That's the good thing about, and the bad thing about having the freedom to build your own class. Like, yeah, I'm an infiltrator, but I'm doing it my way.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And it was viable for something. I mean, like you said, like I said, the importance of crafting. If you could get the spell crafts and stuff and enchants to really build your character that way,
You could just blow it up.
Yeah, exactly. So it's, and with trials gear and weapons, there are certain ones you can get that are more suited toward that type of direct gameplay. But there is no better feeling than being in a battleground and seeing a caster run at you who's lower level, and you're like, come on, just stay in a straight line, and then you don't even do the animation. You just draw your weapons, and he just dies right in front of you. Yeah. Oh my God, that was good times. Good times.
Great times.
Miss it. Thidranki.
I do miss it, but this is good. I mean, this was cathartic. This is
This
like
was. Yeah, no, absolutely needed this. That's
our
for
little
sure.
therapy session to cope with the pending loss of a friend, right?
Yeah, exactly. Oh man, I want to do more of these. This is cool.
Let's do
I love
it.
doing the top fives, and this is a nice little break from the structured format, just kind of a free form flow
Just being
type
chill.
of thing. So you guys, to tell us what you think. Did you enjoy this episode? Do you want us to never do anything outside of top five again, or do you want me just to go ahead and pull the plug on the project entirely?
Wow.
Just let me know in the comment section below. Follow us on all our social media, Cash Revive on Twitter, or cashrevive@gmail.com on Facebook, Shout Engine. Subscribe and comment on iTunes. And thank you again for helping us break the 1,000 listens barrier. We've only been on this project for 5 months, and already that's a big milestone for us, so we really appreciate all your support. And I'm going to go ahead and plug our event coming up on May 20th at Hourglass Brewery for our collaborative project, Geek Street Station. With the awesome guy Al Sterling at For Geek's Sake. He has an awesome podcast, so be sure to check them out. And Zach Crawford runs the Thirsty Gamers. It's a weekly board game meetup, so go ahead and check them all out on Facebook and support those guys because they're really fantastic. So we're going to have more details about the event to come in the future, so stay tuned for all that. And we hope if you're local in the area, you can come on out and meet some of the creators and just have a good time, have a few drinks, and talk about some games, play some games, hug,
Have
kiss,
fun.
whatever's going on. I'm completely down for. So thank you guys. Brian, do you have anything you want to say before we crawl out of here?
Me? No. Go Theurgists.
Go Theurgists.
New game devs, put more Theurgists in more games.
Go ahead and give us our speed buff, and let's get the frog out of here.
Let's get the frog out of here.
Peace.